Hey there. A lot of people have been wondering, how do you get groceries in Kharkov? As you can see, I'm getting to the metro station there. Okay, and there you should see a banner with Metalist, the football club here. Anyway, a lot of people are wondering why the Russians want the humanitarian corridors open. It's not that they're nice guys. The Russians have found out from the wars in Syria that if they open humanitarian corridors and guarantee people's safety, a lot of times the soldiers who are not that committed to the particular cause will take off their uniforms and slip away going down those humanitarian corridors. So it's to the Russians' best interest to ensure that the humanitarian corridors are perfectly safe and secure, and they make it a point that they never fire on them. Again, not because they're nice guys, but because they're thinking very pragmatically that civilians will slip out, which is what they want, because they don't want civilians around, because of course the PR nightmare of dead civilians. But at the same time, if they ensure that the humanitarian corridors are open, then soldiers are going to slip out among the civilians, which will of course degrade the forces that they are fighting. Now, the Zelensky regime in the negotiations has been adamant. This is a metro station. I'll post it later. The Zelensky regime has been adamant, or no, not adamant. They've been very sneaky about it. They've been constantly trying to prevent the civilian corridors from opening, the humanitarian corridors from opening. They keep negotiating and dragging their feet because, of course, the thugs in the Zelensky regime do not want the people to leave or their soldiers to leave. They don't want their soldiers to leave for obvious reasons, and they don't want the people to leave because they're using the people as human shields. That's what's going on. Understand that this is a really, really ugly fucking war, because the Zelensky regime does not care about the Ukrainian people. They just care about holding on to power, whatever it takes, and not surrendering to the Russians. They don't want to surrender to the Russians for two reasons. Number one, their Washington masters are pushing them incredibly hard to keep on fighting no matter what. And on the one hand, and on the other hand, they know that if the Russians capture them, they're dead men. The Russians hate their guts and want to kill them dead. So they want to make sure that they do not surrender. I mean, the Zelensky regime. The Zelensky regime does not want their own men to surrender, does not want civilians to leave, so they can continue to use the civilians as human shields. The Russians are bombing the shit out of the outsides of Kharkov. You see it all the time, or you hear it rather, all the time. And I don't know if you've heard it so far in this video. I don't think oh, there we go. Right on time. Thank you. Thank you for your cooperation, Russian people who are bombing the shit out of my city. Yeah, I mean, I'm not happy about it. Of course not. And those bombs that are going off, every time you hear those bombs going off, it's somebody dying, somebody who didn't deserve to die.